Hey there, Jared here, and just wanted to share with you how you can utilize this Bjerring tournament structure with your group of students or a coaching scenario, wherever it may be. So this is a fantastic way to end up having some overall winner amongst a group of individuals, but doing it in a way where those individuals actually have to work together in teams and they play with and against all the other team members across the course of the tournament structure. So we have an example set up here for a 4-player tournament, a 5-player tournament, an 8-player, a 7-player, and a 9 players. Now, obviously, class sizes are bigger than that. So if you have, let's say, 18 people in your class, then you would just use 2 of these, 2 9 players. You'd put them into different groups and you'd have one group of people following on one tournament structure, and then you'd have the other group following on the other one, and then at the end you would just work out the combination of the scores and the winners across both groups. Now, the way it works is pretty simple. So if we had this 4 tournament structure taking place right now, then whatever the activity was, those players, player 1 and 2, would be playing against players 3 and 4. Now, that could be a volleyball match, it could be a Newcomb match, badminton, tennis, whatever it is where 2 players on a team make sense. And they would be playing against players 3 and 4. So to start it off, you obviously give every single player a number, and that's the number that they use throughout the course of the competition. Now, at the completion of that round, time number 1, you can see here that they basically put in their scoring. So player 1 writes their name here, and player 2 and 3 and 4, etc. Now, the way that I would do it typically is they would draw their names out of a hat, and it makes it just even more interesting and exciting. And at the end of round 1, they put their score in here, and whether that was 4 points for a win or whether that was a -4 for a loss or whatever it may be, whatever scoring you like, you use this to create a tally, and at the end, obviously, you have an overall winner. So for round 2, you go into the following structure of, first player versus the third player and second player versus the fourth, and so on and so forth. And then at the end of the given period of time, and obviously in a 4-player arrangement, everyone plays each other after 3 rounds. But in like a 7-player arrangement, it takes 7 rounds for everyone to have played with and against each other. So at the end of those scheduled periods of time, then you have a total winning and a total points and an overall place of the individuals who have collaborated together to play with each other, but also against each other, and you end up with some sort of overall result as a part of that. So the Bjerring structure has been really good in a lot of different sports, and I mentioned some before, like volleyball, and you can even do it in like a soccer arrangement in small groups, and badminton and so on and so forth. But ideally, it's just a way to take a team-based scenario and turn it into a situation where you end up with some overall winner as a result of that.